So let's talk about some things that hurt your credit score. Again, I do some financial counseling, and a lot of people ask, "Hey, should I close my old accounts? Should I transfer all my money over to one credit card and cut up the other ones? What kind of things do I do?" Let me share some things that will help your credit and some things that I get really annoyed at when people do that hurt your credit. So again, 15% of your credit is how long you have those accounts open. So some people say, well, I'm going to just close my credit card accounts. And what's wrong with that is usually a credit card account is one of the longest accounts that you have open on your credit. And if you say you have had that credit card for 9 years, and the next thing you have is maybe student loan or something else, and that's only 3 or 4 years, and you close that account and close that credit card, now your length of credit history goes from 9 years down to 4 years, and that's going to severely hurt your credit score because your length of time for your credit is now shortened. And so there's nuances to this, and you don't want to just blindly close your accounts without talking to a professional that knows what they're doing to help you. The next one, should you put all your credit card debt onto one card? Well, another one that we talked about, and we'll talk more about, is the credit amounts owed. That's 30% of your credit score is the amounts owed. And so the best is to have 30% or less of your available credit. So that means if you have a credit card that you have $1,000 limit on, you don't want to put more than $300 at any one time on that credit card because that's 30%. If you go over 30%, it's starting to hurt your credit because it's showing that, again, you don't have the discipline in things and you're maxing out the available credit to you rather than managing your life in a way that you can use it and you're using it as a tool, but you're not going overboard. And so 30% or lower of the available credit is what you should be using. So if you move all of your debt onto one card and max that out and then say cut up the other cards, now you've maybe lessened the amount of time that you have and your limit, you're maxed out, and that's hurting your credit as well. So you don't want to do that. Store cards. Should I get a store card to get a one-time 25 or 30% discount on my purchase? No. The short answer is do not do that. Another one of your the 10% makes up your credit score is your credit mix, and another one, 10%, is new credit. So you're going to get dinged two ways: new credit, signing up for a new store card, and two, your credit mix. They want to look at the type of credit you have, and some creditors are seen better than others. And so if you have a bank card or like a Citi card, a Discover card, things like that, that's gonna look good. That's from a major bank. But if you're going to be getting and you have multiple store cards, those cards aren't seen at the same level in lenders' eyes as regular, better credit cards from major banks. And so that's actually possibly hurting your score by the type of credit mix you have. And that's the same with this next one, using a payday lender. If you have a payday loan, and even though you're paying on time or even early and pay that off, that's still hurting your score because they're looking and saying, wow, this person needs a payday loan. And payday loans aren't seen well, and so that's hurting your score. It's the credit mix. So you don't want payday loans or any of those rent-to-own type things. You also want to stay away from signing up for new store cards, even though you get a one-time discount. Pick 2 or 3 credit cards that are good cards that are seen well, and then only use 30% of those, 30% of your available credit, and then pay them off every single month. It does not improve your credit by keeping a balance on your credit cards. So I have about 3 or 4 cards from major banks. I use a couple of them for different reasons. I use them during the month. I'm usually 20% or lower on my balance, and then I pay those off every single month. And that's the way you want to do it. So what happens when you do max out your card, or you do have a 30-day late payment, or you do have a bankruptcy or foreclosure? You can see how big of a decline how big a hit you'll take from each of these actions. Now, what you'll notice, what this chart shows, if you're watching the webinar, is on the right side, you have a 780 FICO score, and in the middle, you have a 680. And you can see on the right side, if you max out your credit card, for example, you're going to lose 25 to 45 points versus only 10 to 30 from 680. So the higher your score, the harder you're going to get hit. And so it's hard to create a great score, but it's easier to get knocked off that pedestal and lower your score. And so again, for a bankruptcy, you're going to lose up to 240 points if you have 780, but only 150 points if you're at 680. And you can tell as you get hit with these point deductions from the previous discussions we've had in the slide, you're going to understand that that's going to raise everything in your life, and you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars more per month because you did one of these things on the left side. Maxed out your card, had a 30-day late payment, you had a debt settlement, you had a foreclosure, you had a bankruptcy. There's lots of different things that could happen. And so we want to make sure that these don't happen to you. And so we're going to talk about how to monitor your credit and make sure that you know what's going on and what's on your credit report, et cetera.